Introducing the PDC World Darts Championship.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the online darts fallout bar as we come to an end of day 16 of the Paddy Power World Darts Championships. And what a day it was, full of shocks and surprises and twists and turns, even a heel turn, if that makes sense to you, towards the end of the evening, perhaps. Dan Simpson here, joining you from up in Teesside, joined once again to my right, Mr. Cam McFarlane, and below by our Welsh correspondent, Carwyn Evans. Gentlemen, how are we this evening?
Really good, mate. Really good. It's glad to have all three of us back. It's always nice when there's three of us. Me and Carwyn held the fort nicely yesterday while you were off enjoying yourself.
Well done, boys. Well done. Everybody
just remember, you all pay for my wages.
Honestly, I know we'll obviously come on to that game, but that was probably the cringiest thing I've seen on the Ali Pally stage this year. And
well, it makes Gezi Price
as well.
Makes Gezi Price look like a saint, doesn't it? So as the Welsh correspondent, I'm ecstatic with that sort of reaction.
We were just saying this off air, like there is now there's potentially a situation where we go to the Manchester Evening News Arena next year in the Premier League, or well, the AO as it is these days, but we won't acknowledge that that's what it is called. And we see that Gerwyn Price walks on as the darling of the crowd against Luke Littler in Manchester.
I think it's amazing. And I'm going to use some of those lines in the chat room when I don't like what people are saying on a Monday night on the live lounge. You guys were watching along, pay for my fees. Good evening, folks.
And your fees are a lot as well. Your fees are more than his prize money.
They certainly are. I hope everybody's not skipping those adverts that come up on the screen. Right, and it's worth acknowledging because we've been very, very busy in the chat room this week, and we're already off to an absolutely rocking start, as I did think we would be. Make sure you do get involved in the chat room throughout the course of the show. There'll be plenty of crack and banter along as we talk through the 6 games that we've all seen today. And then we'll come to some predictions a little bit later in the show. We'll do prediction time. The prediction wine is chilling. And in the chat room, make sure we are subscribed to get involved. We are, whilst it's very, very tempting to chat about the things that are fresh in our mind that's just happened, we are going to wind you all the way back for the time being, back to lunchtime today. The first game of the day, when the dream continues, as Justin Hood, another victory on the Ali Pally stage, 4-1 victory over Ryan Meikle. And I wasn't on last night, and I didn't get the opportunity to see what the predictions were. But Cam, was this something that everybody saw coming? Do we still think this is a shock with what we've seen from Hood so far?
I don't think we looked at it as a shock. I mean, he's not playing like someone in the top 8 in the world, is he? Let's be honest. Ryan Meikle's not someone that ever getting beat, you particularly look at it as a shock at the moment. But I think the chat room was probably leaning 60-40 in Hood's favour, I think, last night. I picked the upset. Well, not the upset. I picked what I thought was the upset, which was Meikle winning this game. And I just thought you would be a little bit more solid in the moments that mattered. But as it transpired, it was Hood that did that, and he was excellent from start to finish. The stats are really similar. It was a relatively close game, but he just gave himself a lot more opportunities on the outer ring than Justin Hood, and that was what made the difference in the end, because although he was worse on the outer ring than Meikle was, he had enough time to make those misses and still get over the line.
We are continuing to see, Carl, in this pattern from Justin Hood, where, as Cam says there, he continues to create opportunities to take legs. He gave himself 40 darts at double today against Ryan Meikle's 16. And whilst that doubling percentage wasn't as good as Meikle's and he wasn't as clinical on the outer ring, we are seeing now in every single game him just managing to continue. And I'm gonna let you use your phrase, but it's always just when he needs it, isn't it?
Oh, massively. And I think it's been the trend since he faced Nick Kenny. What was it, 10 days or so ago? Maybe probably a bit more now.
About 4 months, I think, Colin.
Yeah, well, if it does feel, but yeah, he does the right thing at the right time, and I'm going to use it. I called a Hood win last night. I think I said 4-2, and this game sort of went how I expected it to. With Ryan Meikle, probably there's a pattern developing with his career where if he's playing a lower ranked player or he's a favourite maybe in his head, he blows it. But then when just thinking back, he faced Gary Anderson at the Players' Championship, came back from 5-3 to win 6-5. Nobody expects that. So he's got the game in him. He just doesn't produce it in the games he needs to produce it in. And I feel like for Meikle, this was a massive missed opportunity today. Chance to get into the last 16 and who knows, because the way the draw's opening up, as in, I don't think maybe both Lukes, none of the other seeds are probably feeling entirely safe at the moment, as in they're sort of falling left, right, and centre. And I think it'll be a real tough one to take for Meikle, because the chance was there. But for Hood, as in the team goes on, he's now in the top 64, as in it's probably gone even better than he'd hoped in the wildest of his dreams, his debut. And he's not looked out of place at all on that big stage.
See, I think for Meikle, I'm going to jump in before you there, Dan. Apologies.
All right.
But I think if you'd said to him before this game, if you said to him at 12:30 this afternoon, you can average 95.5 and 50% on your doubles, he just snapped your hand off and thought, I'll win this game if I do that.
No, it's a 4-1 victory, isn't it? The other way.
I genuinely think he thought he'd have come out on the right side of it. And to do that and end up getting beat 4-1, like, it's just, you sort of look at it and go, well, what else could I do, really?
Yeah, I think it's Justin Hood in the key moments. And what really impressed me was, I think this persona that he has, and we'll listen to his interview in a minute, so we'll see a little bit more of it, was I think he turned up at Alexandra Palace, probably, one of the most unknown players there, with nothing really expected of him, and took advantage of the fact that he was playing against a player in Nick Kenny who sort of underperformed, I think, we against the level that we think he can offer. And he had a bit. It was a free hit because it was his debut. It was his opening game. People don't really know who he is. It was all a bit nice, and he just got on with it. Then he gets through that, and he meets Danny Noppert, and that's another free hit because nobody expects him to win. Danny's a heavy favourite. Everyone's talking about the Premier League, so he can turn up and relax. And I felt like today was the first game where he should or could have felt some pressure on him, because the way that the games have gone so far and how everyone was averaging, there was a lot of people picked him to win it. Some people made him favourite. Meikle's last 2 games, he'd only averaged mid-80s. He stepped it up massively today, by the way. And I think what we saw was when there was a bit of pressure or there was a bit of expectation, Justin Hood did exactly the right things at the right time. He broke when it was important to break. He dug in when he needed to, and he won the key decisive legs. And I just thought it was a really, really good performance, and it showed something a little bit different in his game. We saw that, the dominance and the high scoring against Nick Kenny, and then we saw a huge performance against Danny Noppert, but showing a little bit different. And again, I think we've seen another element of what he's got to offer. I just think it continues to look really, really exciting. I think he's pretty much secured his tour card if he didn't bother turning up to anything next year. I think I think if he didn't win a bean for 2026, he probably isn't going to Q School the year after. Granted, he might struggle to defend this type of money if it's not all going this well in the future. So, you've got to get while the getting's good, because, like Sam mentions in the chat room, Chinese.
I've been waiting to throw that one in there. We are one step closer to that. Like we've moved on from the Andrew Gilding bungalow situation, and now we are all fully focused on the Chinese restaurant now.
Well, because I assume we are, and let's be honest, I'm not sure geographically where it's going to be, but we are going to do a show from there, I imagine.
Absolutely. I imagine we'll be invited to the opening, and it'll be free booze, free salt and pepper chicken, all the ribs, the lot. I think that we have definitely got to do a live lounge live from Justin Hood's Chinese restaurant. I think that's an absolute banker. Let's have a look, because Phil has done an incredible job of getting busy with interviews with everybody who has won a match today. Don't forget, folks, on the show here, we'll play you short clips from those interviews. Once this show's finished, check them out in full on the Online Darts YouTube channel. So let's have a little listen to what Justin Hood made after his victory this afternoon.
It doesn't matter, does it? They're both amazing players. I'd like to say my condolences to Callum. He lost his granddad recently, and lovely kiddie, and I hope his head's all right in that, and may the best man win, but they got to face me next, so I hope they're ready. It's massive. If he deals with it well, fair play to the man. It's hard losing people, and he's a great bloke, and I really hope he's okay. 100%. It's hard enough for the players to read it, and then they're messaging your family, and especially his kid. He's a young boy. He ain't got to be reading all that. It's PDC need to do something, or PDPA. So they got to step in and sort it out.
Decent bloke as well, isn't he?
And judging by his accent, I think that Chinese restaurant might just be the other side of the Severn bridge to myself.
I think it's not too far away.
Yeah.
Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, yeah. So not
because
there's two reasons to go there now. Then
the biggest thing we need to take away from it is it's a big win for the little blokes. We all know that I'm the short one on the team, but I can stand next to Justin Hood and I will be ever so slightly taller than him.
Yeah, well, so I'll tell you the biggest step forward that Justin Hood has made.
He doesn't take a lot of big steps, I'll be honest. He's never taking big steps.
Yeah, I think he's leapt. He's been catapulted. So not only has he made the last 16 of the World Championships on debut, not only has he trajected himself up into the top 64, he's pretty much secured his tour card for the next day. But now, this deep into the tournament, Justin Hood now has a Wikipedia page, folks.
Yeah.
So the only man left in the tournament that didn't have a Wikipedia page for me to be clicking around desperately trying to find out things, like the fact that he lives in Glastonbury. That information is now freely available to all of us that need it. So absolutely good on him. Yeah, I genuinely think he seems like a really, really smashing fella. And I can't remember being this pleased about seeing somebody, break through into the top of the game. And
the only man not pleased about it is Carwyn Evans, because of the potential risk.
Wow.
You didn't play the graphic, but that is one man that has jumped Mr. Robert Owen.
It's cute. Let's have it. So, as we said, that does bring Justin Hood up to number 63 in the world. That does hop him over the top of Rob Owen. It means that Mario Vandenbohara is moved outside of the green. Now, we do have a slightly contentious...
Yeah.
Don't know, because we do have a bit of an odd sort of dynamic with Dom Taylor being sat in point number 60, and we don't quite know what's going to happen on that front.
Yeah, we don't know whether his ranking money from this will disappear or not, or
what we do know,
pending ban or whatever might happen. But
what we do know, though, is that if Rob Owen can keep himself in number 64, then it won't matter what happens to Dom Taylor, and he will have that tour card. But
unfortunately for Rob Owen, he can't keep himself anywhere, and it's down to everyone else to keep him.
Correct. Yes, it certainly is. But that is one opportunity gone for Rob Owen, and they are starting to just creep a little bit closer to him. Speaking of that, because another player who is creeping closer and closer, one win away now from jumping over the top of Rob Owen in that tour card race, was featured in game number 2 today, as we saw another absolutely superb performance from another debutant, as Charlie Manby gets the job done against Ricky Evans 4-2. And Carwyn, I thought this game could be absolutely electric in terms of standard. And I think whilst it entertained, it did just lack a bit. I think both players lost a bit of focus and lost a bit of rhythm in this one from what we've seen earlier in the tournament.
Yes, yeah, and I think there's always going to be entertainment because you got two fast players, two capable players of doing some magical things on the dartboard, and it just felt like they were almost waiting for each other to kick off and to spring the other into life, and it just never really sort of got out of second gear in terms of quality, and I felt like, I don't know if Ricky Evans again sort of putting a bit too much pressure on himself, expecting to win relatively easy, but sort of doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, or maybe it was Manby doing the right thing. I don't know. Depends how you want to look at it. But it just felt like the game got away from Ricky, and then he sort of he imploded quite quickly towards the end. And got to feel a bit for Manby, because it feels like we're talking about how his opponents have sort of maybe not played to the best of their ability, or their behaviour, as opposed to the fact he's in the last 16 and he's looking very good for it. And the one thing I will say is his average has sort of been quite constant around the 89-90. I think if he's to go any further, he's got to find another gear, I think, especially with Van Veen up next.
Yeah, I felt a little bit like you said, and I thought I waited and waited for this game to kick into its next gear and that level to come. And then as I sat waiting for it, all of a sudden it was finished. And I was a bit like, oh right, that's all we're getting, is it? There was a couple of sets where I thought, like the 2 sets Ricky won, I felt he looked really strong. But yeah, it's unusual, isn't it, Cam, to see, Charlie Manby, averages of 90, 90 and 89. Is this a case of he's got a bit lucky in that he's played against consistent underperformances?
Potentially.
Or am I being unfair there?
No, today, probably not. The first 2 rounds, I'm not sure. Like, first 2 rounds against, like, Cervera, you only need 90, let's be honest. You probably only need 85. And Menzies on the big stage a lot of the time. 90 is probably enough as well, as long as you do the right things at the right time. But this game, I expected him to need more. After seeing the way that Ricky battled through against James Wade, it felt like he'd turned a little corner and finding a way to get through those tough games and stick at it and not get down and not fall away. And then I really like Ricky Evans, but let's be honest, those last 2 sets were a fucking joke.
Yeah, crap.
And I don't want to call him out. I don't want to, because I like him. I think he's a good bloke, but I'm sorry, you cannot throw a 64 average in the final set. When you're only 2 down, by the way, you're 3-0 down and getting absolutely more all right with it. The point where he dropped off, it was 2 apiece, and his opponent's missing a shit ton of doubles. You're right in that game, and all of a sudden, for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know whether there's something going on. We know he's had a really tough year. There's a lot personally gone on, and maybe it just all got a bit too much for him up there. Which, if it did, fair enough, it happens. But it was not a good look, those final 2 sets.
No, it was grim, wasn't it? It was tough. watch, I think. It's certainly that last set. God, it was fucking horrible. We've got an interview. We've got a clip for Charlie Manby. Let's have a little listen and see what Charlie made after that one when he spoke to Phil.
Well, yeah, everything gets revolved around him, doesn't it? Because of what he's done. But at the same time, no one's going to do what he's done again. You know, I might do the same this tournament, but I'm not going to be the next Luke Littler because I've not done exactly what he's done. You know, he's just took the world by storm. I'm Charlie Manby. I'm not Luke Littler. I'm not going to be like him.
Correct.
He's so Yorkshire, isn't he? Like I listened to a clip with him before talking about his granddad coming rather than his missus because his missus couldn't get it off work, and he is the most Yorkshire bloke you've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know where his missus works, but can we just publicly call out that absolute disgrace?
I think he basically did, to be honest. I think.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he was about one word away from calling out the name of the manager, to be honest.
Good on him. I mean, behave. Like, yeah.
I don't know why he was kicking off about it so much, because his granddad got to come and watch, who wouldn't have been able to because he didn't have another spare ticket, I don't think. I think his granddad went because his missus couldn't.
He's only 4 matches away from telling it to quit a job anyway, so...
Well, that's it.
Quite right, yeah.
£1 million in the bank and he can walk in and hand in a notice for her.
Exactly,
not in this economy. Not in broken Britain, you can.
Well, she can have a couple of years off then.
Hang on.
Retire on £1 million.
We're talking about in Yorkshire here. Like, it'll be all right.
Oh, sorry, Yorkshire. Yes, a generational wealth, that isn't it? Like that's, his children's children will be off to boarding school.
He buys Yorkshire without money.
Oh, dear me. Right.
Evening, Brad.
Number 3. With that, before we get complaints from everyone from Yorkshire,
they've not got electricity. They're not watching.
Game number 3, and I'm coming back to you first, Cam, because what in the blue hell went wrong here? Because
sorry, so I'm gonna have to take this.
It's not the Samaritans, is it?
yeah. I've been waiting for him to call me back for about 10 hours.
It just like Nathan Aspinall getting beat 4-3. Now, I thought Nathan played well in this game. I thought there was some absolute box office moments. The 170 was brilliant. I convinced myself repeatedly all the way through the game, even sort of the 3-0 from Doets to level it up and go into the last one. I just kept thinking, this is the type of match that Nathan Aspinall wins. These are the moments that he becomes Nathan Aspinall. He just couldn't find it when he needed it, could he?
No, it was strange, wasn't it? Like, I think is the best way of putting it. Like, I don't really know. I just expected. I think, like, I predicted an Asp win. Of course, I did. I always do. But I think I predicted it being relatively close. I thought it would be a bit of a battle. I thought Doets is the sort of player that would drag him into it. And he did. And I thought, well, yeah, even after that 1-6-4 at the end of the 6th set to level it up at 3 each, I just thought, well, Asp will just find it now. I didn't foresee a moment where we looked at the last set and went, Doets has just rattled through it 3-0 with 107 average. Like, he just turned into prime Michael van Gerwen for about 3 sets.
It was unbelievable, and that one before this, like set number 6, what was that? Something like 118 average, 118 average, 75%.
108 and didn't get a dart at a double. Like, obviously that helps your average, but like,
well, and Doets, Doets has, doesn't he, Carwin, that level, and he's another player that we've seen him just for a couple.
Yeah, Justin Orbot's just mentioned as well. I did mention that Kevin Doets had won his last 5 in a row against Nathan Aspinall going into last night.
Wow, that's a proper ball, isn't it?
And now 6 in a row. And yeah,
because I made the comment of, don't worry, Clayton hadn't beaten Zonneveld until.
It's your fault, is what we're saying. Your fault, Mr. Evans.
Somebody's got to be accountable, Carwin. Clayton
knows how to break records, I guess. Asp doesn't.
Well, hopefully he goes on and does it in this tournament.
Is it now time, Carwin? Because we've only seen 3 years, 4 years on tour for Kevin Doets, but each of those years have got progressively better. We've seen him, almost serving his time a little bit, doing it on the tour, putting the hard yards in. We've then seen him gradually pull his way up into the top 40 now. We've seen him this year in more TV tournaments than before. He's qualifying for things more and more regular. And he's now becoming a player that we've started to see winning on TV fairly often, making quarterfinals, semi-finals of Pro Tour events. And we've seen that level. That what he did that last 2 sets was superb. This is a player that could, if he can continue that, this could be a player at the top of the, top 60. This could be a top 16 player, couldn't he?
Well, definitely. But I think what we need to see from him is that consistency that you see from the boys in the top 16, where if they have an off night, they check a 93, 95 average. If they have a good night, they check a 99 to 102 average. What I think he's missing at the moment is that the top game is there, and he can do it. He did it against the Asp today. It concedes a 170 to lose the 5th set and win 6 legs on the trot. What we need to see is that against lesser opponents, in that he sort of beats them comfortably, doesn't get dragged into a last set decider like he did in the last round. So I think the game is there. He just needs to maintain the standard and picture himself playing Aspinall in every game he plays, and then he just won't lose. As
long as he's not playing Aspinall when he's doing it, then I'm happy.
Well, yeah, exactly. But no, I think, he can get to that next level. He probably believes he can get there. He just needs to deliver it now. And I think top 16 is a possibility for him.
I think it was a big step for him on that stage. This is the 3rd time that we've seen Kevin Doets on the Ali Pali stage at the World Championships. And the first 2 times he was defeated, he had a second round loss to Michael Smith. He had a 4th round loss to Chris Dobie. And it's, when he's bumped into the, if you like, the big name players, that, both of those players at the time, Premier League players. And I think he's almost played to his level, if you like. He's beaten the players he should beat. And when he's bumped into someone he shouldn't, he's been turned over. And this is the first time we've seen on that stage, he's got it. He's done better. He's overachieved, and he's competed and landed a blow on a massive player. I think it's really exciting. I think he's a fascinating player. I think the way he plays is very watchable.
The throw's beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
So nice.
Gorgeous player.
And like I say, he's clearly got that character to serve it up to people as well. The few mentioning in the chat about his darts falling out the board, he did make a switch in the middle of this game to a much rougher point, which
Come by, Elliot was rougher. Did you see that board?
Oh, I know. Well, it was Simon Whitlock-esque, but it worked, didn't it? It certainly worked.
Nothing fell out after he switched to those darts, did it? We've got
a lot of the Searle did.
Yeah, we do have another clip again, folks, which is a clip from Kevin Doets, and these will all be available, as we said, in full after the show on the Online Darts YouTube channel. So as we come to the end of the afternoon session, let's hear what Kevin thought of that point.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the averages were, but it felt like I couldn't miss. And yeah, I guess you're right. Those 2 sets, but that's what I want to play like. That's what I know I can play like when I have to. And yeah, I guess that those 2 were probably the best 2 I've ever played in my life. Maybe it's like on par with what I played against Michael Smith last year in the last set that we did. But yeah, that's what I know I can play like, and that's what I did today. In my mind, it might sound a bit arrogant and cocky, but in my mind, I can be a top 10 player whenever, when I take it serious and when I really want to. It's just been hard the last years since I started, but it just feels like right now I have more time to put the practice in to become one of those players to secure my future with the prize money that the PDC gives us.
That's what I want to play like. Yes, 118 average. We all want to play like that, Kevin.
Yeah, I won't mind. I mean, I'd settle for half, to be honest, Cam.
Very
if
fair.
I could do 50% of that on my best day, I'd be pretty happy. But no, I think he speaks very well, don't you know? Again, with a bit of respect for the fact that he's communicating there in his second language, which isn't easy. You know, some of these dart players struggle in their first language. Yeah. Some of them struggle in their native language. So to communicate as well as he does in a second language, I think is really good. You know, I think again, great for darts. You know, not ideal for Nathan Aspinall and fans of him, but seeing Kevin Doets and a player like him play like that, produce some of those set averages and move through a major tournament is brilliant for darts, and certainly the top end of it. Right. Then we moved into the evening to see the final game, or the final game of the third round. So
I thought you were going down the final Northeast player route, and that's where you were going.
All right.
Little nibble. Go on, have a little nibble. Go on. You're desperate to have a little nibble.
I'll leave that. I'll leave it. I'll let it straight past, straight in the keeper's hands. Not a problem.
Well left.
Yeah. So yeah, we brought the third round to a close with a game between Josh Rock and Callan Ridge. It was a 4-1 victory for Josh Rock. Everybody knows how much I come out for the Northeast lads, and I was jumping around the room, over the moon, ecstatic when that first set 1-0 to Callan Ridge, and I thought, here we go. And it just all got a bit too much. We know that Callan's had a really shit week, and we know that he's respect to him for actually, going back down and getting on with it. And, we saw him look to the sky straight after that first set victory. And I think it probably all just got a bit too much. And after that one set, it became a little bit procedural for Josh Rock, didn't it, Carwyn? And the game just got on a trajectory, and I think everybody just wanted it to be over towards the end.
Yeah, and irrespective of the score and the result, I think Callan can be proud of his performance, and I'm sure his grandfather would have been very happy with how he played. As in, to hold it together in such an emotional time, as in, is credit to him, and it was clear he didn't want to be there, but obviously it's the world, so it's very hard to not be there when you're playing or for the money. And I know money isn't everything, but in a competitive sport where rankings come into it, obviously this all plays a part. And I think it sort of went as most people expected the game might go, because obviously I mentioned it last night, Callan's a very emotional player anyway. On top of what he's gone through this week, it must have been, his head must have been all over the shop. But he gave a good account of himself. He probably pushed Rock more maybe than Rock would have expected based on everything. And it'll have been a good leveler for Josh Rock as well, coming back from one set down just to see where his game's at. And as it was clear, it was a game that had to be played, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it was just the bigger things for Ridge to worry about in the game of darts.
Cam, just on Josh Rock, and we're going to come to his interview at the minute, and I haven't listened to the Josh Rock interview yet, if I'm honest, so I don't know what's in there. But before we get to it, he plays Justin Hood in the next round, and if you'd have said to any of us to pick it, and you'd have asked Josh Rock if he fancies it 3 or 4 weeks ago, that for a spot in the quarterfinal you've got to beat Justin Hood, there's a decent
chance. Your hand would have gone.
There's a decent chance he'd have said, "Who? What? What is a Justin Hood? What is it?
Is that the bloke that wants a Chinese restaurant?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, is that fella that has the Chinese restaurant? He does Deliveroo, doesn't he? I don't know. But is it now, with what I think will be a massive pro Justin Hood crowd and a very relaxed Justin Hood, still on a free hit, scoring very freely?
It's a proper free hit now as well, though. Tour card secured. Now it is a serious free hit now.
Is there a risk to Josh Rock going into that game? Or do you still think he should be rubbing his hands thinking, fucking hell, like imagine, look at what everyone else has had to go through. Nathan Aspinall, I can piss through this, not a problem. I
still think he'll be happy with it. Like the way that the draw is, I still think he'll be pretty happy with it. But like you say, it is a seriously tough game now. However, Josh Rock played relatively well today. He didn't have to be at his best.
No.
He still averaged 99. He's still pretty solid, 40%-ish on the doubles. Like, it wasn't bad at all. But he can certainly go higher than that. And we know he can go higher than that. So, what he did against Callum today would have been enough to beat Justin Hood today. And I think that will give him a lot of confidence going into tomorrow. I do want to shout out, just before we go anywhere, Callum's 10 darter on double one was world class. Yes. The best thing I've seen all day. Like, there's been some good darts today, but that was world class.
It's what we're here for, isn't it? It's what we want.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see enough of it. No. There's
not enough people doing stuff like that.
Keep your 9 darters. 9 darters are shite.
Yes. Compared to that, they are.
10 darters on double one. They are a lot rarer than a 9 darter.
That's harder than 9, I'd say, because 3, 4, 9, 9 in 3 darts in 9 darts is harder than 501. The one thing I would say with Rock, there's also the dangling carrot of potentially by tomorrow night being world number 4 should other results go his way. So he'll have that incentive to make sure he doesn't slip up at the hands of Hood.
Oh, and why would he want to be world number 4, Carwin?
I hope he's not world number 4 because it means that Clayton's still in.
No, but why would he want to be? What possible motive could he have for making the top 4 in the world?
Well, it's a golden ticket for a travelling circus.
Right, we've got an interview. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I've not had a chance to have a listen to it. So we'll see what Josh Rock might just repeat everything we've just said. But let's have a listen to what Josh Rock said after his victory over Callan Ridge this evening.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the performance, but I want to say a massive condolence to the family, the Reds family. It was in the back of my mind because me and Callan are very good friends, but I had to put that aside and do a job. So I'm very sorry for their loss. Yeah, it was. Whenever I was probably one of the first people to text them because me and Callan's very good friends behind the scenes, was to text them to say apologies for your granda, And obviously, if I was in his shoes, it's going to be hard regardless. You're going up there, someone who followed you all your life, it's going to be very hard to take. And he went up there and he tried his hardest, which was good to see because sometimes you just don't want to be there. And at the same time, he might not want to be there, but he put on performance the way he can.
Yeah,
solid.
Yeah,
100%. He said exactly the same on stage after the game as well, and I think you could tell he clearly it wasn't easy for him up there either today, knowing that what he was doing to his mate who was clearly struggling as well. So yeah, fair play to him. He just always comes across as a good bloke, doesn't he, Josh Rock?
Yeah, very respectful and yeah, just a decent fella, and that's what we want to see from top sportsmen and people at the top of the game. We want to see them actually being decent human beings as well. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to moving on to the next game because I genuinely don't think so. First of all, this may be the busiest chat room we've ever had, and it's very nice to see everybody just having a bit of back and forth banter and crack with each other.
There's a lot of people getting very excited about Ryan Searle for the Premier League. So, let's be honest, unless he wins the entire thing, he's not going to be in there. I've
never seen any word mentioned in our chat room as many times as the word Searle. Because I don't know, we seem to have. I don't know whether we've got all of his family and friends. I don't know if they're all in the minibus home from Alexandra Palace back across to the West Country.
Big fans of Ryan Searle, apparently.
But the chat room is absolutely lighting up.
So, because he's absolutely class. He's a genuinely lovely bloke, and he doesn't take it all sort of too seriously or worry about it. But fuck me, he can throw a dart, can't he?
So, Cam, Ryan Searle is now a quarter finalist.
He's also the only player not to have lost a set.
Well, he's done so without losing a single set of darts. He has lost but 11 legs in the entire tournament so far to get to the quarterfinal, but he has done so playing some really superb darts. You know, he hasn't performed. You know, he hasn't played against people that have underperformed. He has been absolutely clinical repeatedly. He's done. It's almost been the epitome of the right things at the right time. The doubling has been absolutely superb. It's difficult to say enough positive things. Is there a possibility, Carwin, of a really deep run in this year's Worlds for Ryan Searle? And I know that the folks in the chat room desperately both want and are convinced that it could happen, but do you believe it? Have you seen enough?
I don't think he wants to believe it, let's be honest.
Playing devil's advocate, Searle has played outstanding darts, but he has yet to be put under any pressure. He's played Dolan, Schindler, and Hurrell, and none of them have averaged over 90. As in, can he maintain this level when there's somebody sitting on the top, so double 16, waiting for him to miss? I hope he can, because he's been... sorry?
When the ferret's pointing at the camera.
Well, this is it, because that's where I'm getting at. I expect him to win the next game. No, I don't. Wait now. Let's not get carried away.
He's not winning the next game. You expect him to beat Johnny Clayton or Andres Harrison?
He's dropping sets in his next game because he's playing Clayton. Obviously, it's been a delightful, and I think finally we're seeing Searle doing what Searle can do. Bit like Kevin Doets, what we need now is this all year round for him to maintain the standard he's shown this year, and that this is the benchmark of where his career goes from here. Because I think he's another one. He's top 10. He's sort of top 8, but it's all well and good doing it for 1 year. It's now doing it from here on in and maintaining the standard, because the way he's played, he's kept himself away from any danger. And in Dolan, Schindler, and Hurrell, there's potential 3 banana skins there, and as you say, he's sort of done it without breaking sweat, really.
Cam, for Ryan Searle, we've whilst we haven't seen a run this deep at the World Championship before, he has teased this. You know, in previous years, we saw that final in Minehead for the Players' Championship finals. We saw the match play quarter final, but then last year, I still think last year was one of the biggest breakout years for Ryan Searle. On the Euro Tour, out of 12 Euro Tour events, he made at least the quarter final 8 times.
Yeah,
like he was virtually always running deep into them. Is the biggest challenge here? Let's say that the quarter final is as far as it goes for Ryan Searle this year. I mean, it might not be, but you know, Carwin certainly hopes it is. If it is the biggest challenge from here for Ryan Searle to have a year where he does this more than once, where he goes to another TV quarterfinal or makes 2 or 3 TV quarterfinals and really just makes that step, because he seems to, when you look through the years, he seems to be keeping his ranking based on like 1 quarterfinal or 1 semi-final. You know, 1 big run keeps him somewhere up there, but he's got to bridge that gap at some point, hasn't he? He's got the talent to, but do we take him seriously enough if he can't do that?
He's certainly got the talent to, and I think it is one of those with him though. Like, does he want to? And I'm not saying that in a bad way whatsoever. Like, I don't think he really does care about doing it. I don't think he wants to be making a deep run and it being that. I think what he cares more about than anything. And you missed this. You were one of the live lounges where you were swanning off around Dubai, acting like you were king of the world. But he was on the live lounge with me and Phil that day when I was being the supply teacher that I always am. And he basically said he's not, that titles don't really mean a lot to him. Like, as long as he puts food on the table and the mortgage is paid and the bills are paid, that's all he really cares about. As long as the family is secure, then he's all right. And I think it's quite refreshing, let's be honest. Like, not to just be a normal bloke and just do what a lot of us do. And like, we spend most of our life trying to just provide for our families around us and make sure they're all right. And
pay the
I think
bills and
that's
book
all-
a holiday and, you know, make
That's
sure
it. I
all the
think
Christmas presents are paid for.
That's the biggest thing for him. And so if he doesn't do it and he doesn't put together a massive run, so what? I mean, without even caring about that, he's 13th in the world right now, and he potentially could go and beat Johnny Clayton or Andreas Harrison in the next round and be in a world semi-final. And you know what? What he's done at that point, he has more than provided for his family, put like 500 grand over the last 2 years and the rest into their account. And the way he's playing, who knows? He could go and smash Littler up in a semi-final, and then all of a sudden he's in a world final. And like, yeah, for him, I'm just, as long as he's happy and he's enjoying himself and the family's secure and he's happy with that, I don't care whether he does more than that. I'd love to see him do it. Honestly, I'd love to see him win every tournament in the world because he's a lovely bloke as well. But it's not that important to some people.
I think Cowan, you made a really interesting point about him being tested and about him being pushed because, you know, whilst he hasn't dropped a set yet and he has looked really good in a lot of these victories, when you look back through the course of the tournament, we've seen averages, and don't get me wrong, they're good. Like we've had averages he's averaged 100, he's averaged 102, he's averaged what else? 98, he's averaged 93. But once you get to this quarterfinal and you start bumping into the Johnny Claytons, who are used to doing it on the big stage, and the Luke Humphreys and the Luke Littlers and everybody else, that's not going to do, is it? Finding 101 average isn't going to do unless your timing is absolutely flawless. He's got to find. If he's going to get over the line. And I'm not sure, like, do you think he's got it in him to motivate himself? We go back to Josh Rock earlier and we think Josh Rock hasn't been pushed today. But we know that when a player pushes him, he will lift his level back. That competitive, he will go toe-to-toe and he'll push himself harder. Does Ryan Searle just throw what Ryan Searle's throwing that day? Can he really push it on in that way, do you think?
No, I don't think he can, and I think that's what he's missing at the moment. I'm just looking back at his games and to see how many of them went to a fifth leg decided. 2 out of 11 sets have gone to the fifth leg, and Schindler missed a shed load of darts in that first set when they went to five legs, and it was the first set against Searle today. I think what Searle needs is 102 average where everything goes right, because you're sort of thinking the top 8 sort of players can win with a 98 average against 102 average because they do the right thing at the right time. We haven't seen enough of Searle having to do that yet. So does he have it? Possibly, but he did have 1 fifth legger against Landman in the first round as well, which we are forgetting he has played 4 games already. Oh yes, I forgot he's played the 4th game. Sorry,
and that was 2 apiece. It was on his throw and he rattled through it in 11 darts. So just to throw in a little bit of support for Ryan Searle.
I'm about to make the chat room incredibly happy because we know how pro Ryan Searle the chat room is this evening. Everyone is absolutely desperate for a bit of Ryan Searle content, and Phil Bars has spoken to Ryan Searle straight after the match today. And not only that, but I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen of the chat room, who are gagging for a bit of Ryan Searle, the longest interview that we have got throughout the 2026 Paddy Power World Championship so far.
There's actually 2 clips there.
Oh, there is. I'm saving the second one up my sleeve because it's particularly fun. It's particularly fun, that one. So let's just all enjoy together 2 minutes and 21 seconds of Ryan Searle, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's a tough question. That you put me right on the spot. I think it'd be good if me and Gary play each other in the final, just because we practice together, and it would have to be different from our practice sessions because he hammers me, So obviously, if me and Gary played each other, it'd be fantastic. But if not, me and Luke, and I was with Luke's son at breakfast this morning. We were playing with his cars, chucking them across the table and stuff, and it's a good laugh. And whoever it is, it'd be cool. But like I say, we can't look any further than our next game, and we look forward to it.
Hard to believe this is your first TV quarter-final since the match play in 2023. Someone of your ability, is that a hard stat, and surprised even you that you haven't kicked on from?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a massive underachiever as far as majors and stuff is concerned. But also on the other hand, when you look at the draws that I've had, and I played Littler in the match play, and he played phenomenal against me in the first game, and Price in the Grand Prix, and Aspinall in the Grand Prix the year before, and he was on a double after 9 in the deciding leg, and things like that. And it's a bit of a pill to swallow, but I feel like now I've got a little bit more of a stronger mentality, and I'm kind of ready for sort of bigger matches. I hit a 177 to leave 24, and he took out 62 last start. Who's saying that after I left 24 whether I was going to hit it or not? It's one of those things. I might have missed 3 darts and he might have won. So like I say, the potential of this tournament now with the rankings, I think I'm back in the top 16 now, which is where I feel I belong. And I think it's only up from here.
Yeah, back in the top 16 and only £1,500 off Gary Anderson, someone that hammers you in practice, but you're not too far from on the order of merit.
Like I say, there's levels to this game, and Gary's up there with one of the best that's ever thrown a dart. So it wouldn't surprise me if Gary was to go on and make the final. So if I can just keep building on what I'm doing, I'll be happy.
Well, that was very serious, Ryan Searle, talking very straight about today. Now let's just have the other 24 seconds of Ryan Searle, because I enjoyed this little short one a bit more.
Obviously telling the world as well that you haven't got your other half a birthday present. It's going to cost you a bit more tomorrow shopping wise, is it?
I know, yeah. I was trying to look for a Poundland to try and pick something up, you know what I mean? So got a couple of days off now. Try and stay away from Rachel, Gary's partner, because she's always trying to get Sophie out shopping with my card. So we were trying to avoid her at all costs. And like I say, I'm over the moon to be in my next round now.
What a bloke! What a bloke! Literally, when he said that on stage, I just looked across at Rach and went, don't say that on stage, Ryan.
Well,
never admit to it on stage. There's many things that we'll hear a lot of people say, and we'll go on to the comment and everything else. But that one of saying, I haven't got her a card yet, never admit that out loud. There's still time to get on Moonpig and get one delivered. And
this is the challenge, see. Now, as a man who has been married for quite a long time, we're well into double digits now, which is, Christ knows how she's tolerated me for this long. But I
say that, and we're into double digits of days, but
yeah, I got rinsed. I mean, I got done for a handbag at Christmas this year. By Christ, now I can only imagine how the pressure that would come onto me if I'd have just picked up £100,000. If I'd have just picked up 100 grand, I can imagine the type of pressure that would be on me in any present.
When you've openly admitted that you've not got a card yet, you are in trouble, and you're going to get, some of that cash is going my way because you've admitted you haven't even thought about getting me a card.
There are plenty of service stations between Alexandra Palace and the West Country, Cameron. I'm sure that he can get into a WH Smith on the way back.
That's the point. That's absolutely fine. And that is what we all do. Don't admit it on live television.
Quite right. Yes, quite right. Husbands everywhere. That is not how to do it. So, you've been waiting all night for this one, folks. And everybody got in a little bit earlier. Well, I think they were all waiting all night for Ryan Searle, to be completely honest.
Absolutely. No. We'll just see the viewing numbers dip to fuck all now.
I know, it's
Ryan Searle,
isn't it? So the main event of the evening, Carwyn Evans. Now, this wasn't what I expected. Where on earth has that Rob Cross been for the last 12 months? Because by goodness, it was good to see him back, wasn't it?
Yes, and what's frustrating as well is if he could throw a big 20 or a big 18 or whatever it was going for,
every time he was on 70 odd.
Yeah, as in, honestly, if he could set up better with a two-darter taking it out in 3, then you could sort of have had an even closer game. As in, and it's hard to sort of say that Littler wasn't on it because Littler played extremely well as he does. But just, I think Rob Cross will be frustrated not to have taken him to last set, and who knows then. But I wish we saw more of this Rob Cross. But I guess for him, it's a step in the right direction. But I think I called 4-2, but I didn't expect Cross to be in it as much as he was, if that makes sense.
No, I get that. We're going to save, because we've got a Littler interview. So let's save the post-match until after the interview so we can get into it a little bit more. But in terms of the actual match, Cam, put aside the psychology, is it good for Littler to come through something like this at this stage in the tournament, to feel like he's had to earn a victory and to work for it? Because, thus far, like he's been far better than the people that he has faced, but he hasn't really had to work too hard for it. Mencia offered a bit, but not much. David Davies, bless him, was happy to be there, as was Darius. Is it good for him before he gets into the nitty-gritty and the business end to have to properly work for a victory?
Yeah, 100%. Like, not even close. Like, it definitely is. And that was sort of, I went rogue last night. I picked the upset. Like, I had Bobby Cross winning this game. And I did buy a few giving it me last night in the chat saying you wouldn't back it up with your own money. I did. I had a small 10 pence or maybe slightly more than that on Bobby Cross at 8-1. And with the sponsors, of course, that way, wherever it is. And yeah, but I just thought that he hadn't been tested yet, and that is a worry. And Cross was certainly someone that could test him. And like you say, Carwin mentioned it. There were a couple of 3 separate fuck-ups in the 70s where he didn't manage to get himself a dart at a double, and instead ended up with either not a dart at all or a dart at the bull, where it should have just been single, double. And there were those opportunities, and then there's obviously the dart at tops to level it up at 3 apiece. Honestly, I've been feeling very, very comfortable about my prediction if it had gone to 3-all at that point. I was thinking, I predicted 4-3 Cross, and I thought, it will be this. I fancy Cross here because he had found a serious patch in terms of his scoring and the way that he was playing. Yeah, it's not difficult to come through this, and I think it's a worry for everyone else in the fact that he's had to come through a battle now. That was the thing that you were sort of holding your hat on, was the fact that he's not come through a big battle yet. Now he has, and he came through it, and that 10 darter to break back in that set, was utterly ridiculous, because it wasn't it wasn't a 10 darter with no pressure on it. Like, Cross was putting together a good leg of his own in that leg, and it was really, really good from him. And it just shows, yes, we'll come on to later on and what he said, but the fact is with him, and this is why it's so difficult for everyone against him, you expect it. You're not shocked when he does it. You're under pressure constantly because all he does is just hit big scores when he has to. He can be behind in a leg. I think there was another leg where he was on 2-6-1 and he took it out in 5 when he was under pressure again from Cross. And he does ridiculous things over and over again and makes them look routine. And that's the worry, because you can't slip up. You can throw in one visit of 60 and you're fucked.
Yeah, that's it. You cannot slip in anywhere, can you?
No.
Nothing.
And even when he was rattled, he's still able to do that in the second to last leg of the game.
Let's have a little listen then before we move on and get into anything else. Let's listen to see what Luke had to say when he spoke to Phil Bars after that match finished.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the fans, they done what they done. I've reacted as any other player would, really. think I might have reacted a bit too early on after that first set, and then when I come on for the second set, they're still at it, and I said, yeah, you've done it a bit too early, but I just had to get on with the job. When I went 3-1 up, I felt like I was really, really in it, and obviously Rob found his feet, but yeah, just had to get rid of him. Yeah, I mean, obviously not really at the front of my mind, because obviously they want the underdog to win, or did he want the game to go on even longer than it should do? But yeah, definitely fueled me up, and I've definitely played better then. So yeah, just have to see what happens New Year's Day. Yeah, I mean, just the fans, and yeah, obviously I give it a little bit for a few checkouts throughout the game, but yeah, I just kept thinking to myself, just leave everything until that last dart goes in, and obviously when Rob left that 3-4-2, I've said to myself, just hit a 180, left the 164, and then guaranteed 6 at 164, and then he's not left to finish again. Then I've got 6 at 68, and then just had to get it out of the way.
So my question is, first of all, a player of that level of talent at that age, in the environments that he's repeatedly put in, where there isn't sometimes a hope and for chaos. We all like to manifest chaos and upsets and underdogs and surprises and things to go on, and to be able to say I was there then. Was a reaction like this inevitable? Were we always going to get to a point, and it could have been now, or it could have been in Blackpool at the match play, but where the crowd, and I think it was always going to happen here, because I do think, and I'm well informed by a few people. I need to speak to Phil, but when I speak to Phil Bowers in the morning, I'm gonna tap him up to see whether there's much truth to this, as to how many German fans there are.
There's a hell of a lot. There are,
and we know the relationship that Luke has with the German fans. So, is it being sort of ring-led by that? And there's that. So Phil's in the back end, and 40% of the crowd today were German. And we know Luke has a relationship with the German fans. It isn't particularly positive. So, everyone's different, right? I quite like it. Because, again, what we buy into as sports fans is we buy into two things. I've always said we buy into two things. One is sporting excellence. We want to see people perform that sport at the very highest level.
We get that from him day in, day out.
What we also want is we want and crave stories and entertainment and
a villain.
pantomime.
We love a villain.
Of course we do. And let's not forget, this kid is a very, very, very big wrestling fan. And he knows that there is an opportunity for somebody to fill that role and be the pantomime villain. And I also think, before I throw over to you two, that there might be a theory, and I'll get your view on it. Sometimes players are looking for something, and Luke is always a player that's looking for something to push him to the next level. How can I get better? What is it? The flight? Is it this? Is it a slight slowdown here? Is it that I want to become really confrontational with a crowd? Is it that I want to feel them on my back and proving them wrong, and I need to light a fire, and I haven't had anything coming back at me yet, and I've got to get something, I've got to get up for it? And I don't know how contrived it is. Or do you just think it's an 18-year-old lad who's like not really thought before he's spoken and put his foot in his mouth?
I think it's the latter for me. I think basically I think he was a little bit rattled in that game, and I think it was partly what Rob Cross was doing against him, especially towards the end of the game, and I think it was partly the crowd being completely against him for pretty much the entire game, because we know the Ali crowd, they love an underdog. Let's be honest, yes, Stephen Bunting called them proper darts fans today. Are they really? Or are most of them out for a Christmas party?
I would suggest that Alexandra Palace is the furthest away from proper darts fans than any darts event on the planet.
So what's happened is he's got a little bit rattled, and he's got a microphone shoved in his face straight away, and he's basically just said something stupid, which He's 18, 19 years old, whatever he is now. I keep forgetting how old he is. But he's basically, if you shove the microphone in front of me at that age, like, I say a lot of stupid shit now still. Like, I'd have been in a lot
without the pressure on.
I'd have been in a lot more trouble than he is right now, let's be honest. So I thought it was cringy. I thought it was awful. I didn't think it came across well whatsoever, especially in sort of the time in the world that we live in these days. Like, not everyone's fortunate enough as me and Dan to be able to charge £4 million a year for the Fallout bar. But it didn't come across very well. But also, he's 18 years old, and you've got to give him a lot of leeway on it to admit that he's going to say the wrong things at times, especially straight after a game. And let's be honest, he's not punched the fuck out of the table, so it could have been worse.
That is a very good point, Cam. Cowan, any views on it from you before we move on to? And I'm not going to say what part of the show it is now because I've got a button to click.
As in, I've got no issue with him saying it. I think will the PDC, because he's a kid, a lot of young children watch that because of it, sort of become the ambassador, as in. It'd be interesting to see if he gets any sanctions, because obviously other players probably would have if they'd have said something similar. But hey, it's entertainment. As in, we all watch 2 sessions between Christmas and New Year because it's entertainment. And hey, if they want to boo him, they can boo him. But in the same way, then he can come back and say, "You pay for my prize fund." So I think tit for tat, move on. Let's not make a big deal out of it. And hope he gets booed when he plays Clayton in the semi-final, has a massive meltdown, and Clayton makes the final. But we'll discuss that at a later date.
Quite right. Right, folks. It's time to move on to the next part of the show. And because Phil does what I ask of him, I can now do this.
We used that last night as well. I clicked that button last night.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got excited, just as excited tonight.
See, I didn't tell Carwin about it yesterday before I used it either, and I just dropped it in. And I've never seen the Welsh correspondent look happier.
I rang Phil the other day and I said, "Look, I know that you're the hardest working man in darts and you're really busy.
But also, I know that you're sat there doing fuck all through most of the session, except for when you're interviewing players.
Yeah,
so you do something for me."
I said, "Can you make us a little jingle for me and the lads? Because it'll be really fun." So we've added an extra. Do you know? And he's delivered.
He's good at it, though, isn't he? Like, it comes out really well.
He's delivered as a Robbo into a card jingle. He's delivered as a prediction time. And you know what, folks? Keep in with each other. Feel free to send me a message on X if you think there's a little jingle that we need that I need to put Phil Bars to work on. Let's get busy.
We will make him do it for us. Like, anything you want.
Quite right. Right, it's prediction time, which means it's time for prediction wine. We've gone white this evening, and we're on with a...
I'm on white this evening as well. That's a strange little...
I've
got a Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc, of course.
I've got it. I've gone Italian. I've gone with a Gavi that's as dry as sticks.
No, that's nice. I'm quite happy with that as well. But yeah the drier the better if you're on a white. We've got a
Gavi tonight bringing us through prediction time. So don't forget, folks, tomorrow we are the same format as we have seen today. We're playing best of 7, which is first to 4 for those of you who aren't very good at maths. And we are continuing, or we are bringing to a conclusion actually tomorrow. It feels like these 2 days work at a rapid pace, don't they? Because we finish one round off and then complete another in like a 20 sort of day and a half, and it moves very, very quickly. But we bring to an end round 4 tomorrow with 6 games, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening. In the chat room, make sure that you get your predictions in. This is probably the busiest chat room that we've had so far this year, so stick your predictions in the chat room. I will do my absolute best to get all of them.
Jim in the chat room there saying Jennings Castle bitter prediction time. I mean, what you can bring whatever tipple you want to the Fallout bar. We're quite happy, but you can keep that for yourself.
Yeah, bar snacks are fine for everyone in the chat room. We've banned pork scratchings from the bar when we're on the microphone because they sound terrible down the phone.
Yeah, not ideal. A couple of bacon fries, maybe some scampi fries.
You have to suck them though. You can't crunch them. It's terrible on the mic. You have to suck your bacon fries on here.
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
How
We took a turn here.
do we end up? How do we end up?
Down a road here.
It's prediction time, folks. It's Luke Woodhouse against Krzysztof Ratajski. Don't forget to suck your bacon fries. Fucking hell, God. And we're on earlier tonight than we've been all week. This is the earliest
Jim
show
for that.
done.
Nice one.
Right. God, let's restore some order. Cameron, Luke Woodhouse is playing Krzysztof Ratajski in round 4 of the World Championships tomorrow. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
I got a fucking clue. I'm lost now. Someone will throw some darts at the board and one of them will win. I don't really know in this game. I feel like this is possibly the closest game of any game we've had anywhere in the tournament so far, and we've seen some very close ones. I think that Luke Woodhouse comes out on top 4-3.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's close. Wow. I think extra legs. I think it's that close.
Carwin, what do you think?
I disagree with Cam. I think Ratajski wins another 7-set thriller. I don't think he'll leave himself as much to do as he did against Woodhouse, as he did against Big Wes, sorry.
I'm still fuming that he beat Big Wes, so I'm not picking him.
Yeah, no, yeah. So you're obviously anti Ratajski for the rest of his career. I don't know. I saw a bit of fight in him. I saw a bit of emotion in him. I saw a bit of a reaction that I've been wanting to see from him for a while. And I think he marches on to the quarterfinal 4-3 victor.
I agree with Carwin. I think we've seen quite similar things from both of these players, and I do think it's a bit of a pick-em, and I think it will come down to very much. I think it will be 4-2 to Krzysztof Ratajski, but I do think we will see all 5 legs in every set, and I just think that in those key moments, I think Krzysztof Ratajski will win those battles. I just think he will be the one that doesn't wobble and takes out the important. I don't even think, I'm not saying he's going to take, the big 1-3-2 and it's all going to be spectacular, but I think just that pop, that 2-dart combination that just ping and under pressure get the job done. So I'm going to go 4-2 Ratajski, but seeing every leg that we need to get us to there. In the chat room, let's have a quick look.
I'm glad you're hosting tonight because there's bloody loads in there.
I'll do my best to get through this. I apologise in advance if I miss anyone or misread it, mispronounce the names, everything else, but there's a fucking lot to get through. Danny has gone a Ratajski winning 4-2. Benyon has gone 4-2 to the Polish Eagle. Jack has gone Krzysztof Ratajski winning 4-2. It's heavy Ratajski so far in the early running. Jimmy Dan has gone 4-3 to Ratajski. Dan Lucas pulled it round the other way with a woody 4-3 victory. Joel Ratajski 4-3. Alan has gone Ratajski 4-2. Daz Reynolds has gone 4-3 Woodhouse. Be Kind Rewind. Oh, brilliant film. Be Kind Rewind has gone 4-3 Ratajski. Brad has gone for Brad. Can we do? We don't do 4-3 either way. You can get off the fence, pull the splinters from your ass.
Get the splinters out of your ass, son.
Bob Ratajski 4-3. Ducky Baker has gone Woodhouse 4-3. James has gone Luke Woodhouse winning 4-3. It's leveling out a little bit towards being a little bit more even. Stockport Mackham, good evening. He's gone Ratajski winning 4-3. All boxed up has gone Woodhouse winning 4-2. Paddy has gone 4-2 Shed. Help me out, lads.
Woodhouse?
Shed? Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Top
Excellent.
marks. Yeah, sailed over my head, but no, Paddy, that's
Very
fine.
good.
Mr. Shed. The Shed, we shall know him as from now on.
Yep,
Bob
that's
is a member. Don't forget, folks, you can be a member to this channel. It's definitely worthwhile. Bobsy has gone Ratajski winning 4-2. Kay has gone Woodhouse winning 4-3. Murdy has gone Ratajski winning 4-3. Maliki has gone Ratajski 4-3 over the Shed. Dan Fraser's gone Woodhouse 4-1. Jim has gone the Eagle Walks this 4-2. Kieran has gone Woodhouse winning 4-3. Paddy has gone Ratajski winning 4-2. Daz Reynolds 4-3. Woodhouse sudden death legs. David Hunt Woodhouse wins 4-1. The Marathonomous Ratajski 4-0. I think that's all of them. Crikey, it's Rebecca
Rebecca in with a late one for Woodhouse 4-3.
Yeah, we'll let that one sneak through. Amazing. I keep it coming, folks. It's really good fun. We quite like having a bit of input from everybody else. Dobby's in late. Dobby has gone Ratajski 4-2. I reckon that's at least 60% Ratajski.
Yeah, but there's a couple of smart ones in there. Rebecca and Daz at the end there with picking Woodhouse in 4-3. Extra legs in there. There's smart people.
Yeah, there's a few of your pals in there. You got the fan club in again. Game number 2, and I'm gonna have to keep this moving because it's taking me so long to get through everybody's predictions. Game number 2 tomorrow afternoon. And I'm going to have to, it is your turn, Carwin. So we're coming to you first here for a very predictable pick. Do you give Andreas Harrison a set in the glorious victory of Johnny Clayton?
I do, but I'd also like to add before I predict that it's a travesty that such a big game is on in the afternoon. I cannot believe this isn't swapped with MVG Gary Anderson tomorrow night. How they've picked that as prime time tomorrow, I don't know. But no, I think it's going to be closer than my blood pressure would like it to be, because Clayton doesn't make things easier. And I do think that carrot dangling of Bunting going out early will be tempting and will be looming over him. And obviously as well, Clayton does his mate Rob a big favour. Clayton wins 4-3.
Cameron?
I'm with him that Clayton wins. I think Clayton wins this pretty comfortably. I think Clayton, his newfound scoring power that I've been banging on about for the last couple of weeks. 180s for fun. I just think he'll outscore Harrison, and I fancy him to outfinish him as well. It's been a really, really good tournament for Andreas. I think it's been fun while it lasted. He's a couple of good wins in there, but I just think there are levels to this, and Johnny Clayton on a stage right now he's just above him. And I think 4-1 Clayton, I'd give him a set, but I think that's as much as he gets out of it.
I'm sorry, Carwin.
Switch to the 2-person screen, Cam.
Yeah, I can do that. Don't you worry about it. I'll just remove him. It's fine. Hi, Dan.
I'm sorry, but
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me.
I'm going to ruin Johnny Clayton's chances by us all agreeing that Johnny Clayton is going to win tomorrow. Because everybody knows that if
you might have said that, we couldn't take the chance, and we had to.
Everybody knows that if we all pick something to happen, it fucking doesn't it? So
never.
But yes, I have thoroughly enjoyed the addition of Dirty Harry to this year's World Championships. I have really enjoyed watching him play, especially the game against Ricardo Petrescu. I thought he was brilliant. The Ross Smith game to open the World Championships for him was absolutely brilliant to watch as well. But similar to what You switch sides. What he said. There are levels to this.
We're not in the same spot anymore.
There are levels to this, and Johnny Clayton is far too many levels above Andreas Harrison on this stage, in this tournament, in this environment. And I think he bashes him up. I think it's 4-1 to the Ferret. I'll give him a set. I'll let him hold throw for a set. But no, I think it's 4-1 to the Ferret. Let's go to the chat room. And I think this is going to be quite heavy. It looks pretty heavy in one direction. Benian has gone 4-2 to Clayton. All boxed up has got Harrison winning 4-3. Bob has gone Clayton winning 4-1. Jack has gone Clayton winning 4-1 as well. Bobsy has got Clayton winning 4-3 and moving to the top 4. Deny Dirty Harry a tour card and try and retain that for Rob Owen. His countryman's going to do him a favour. Maliki has gone the Ferret winning 4-2. Alan has gone the Ferret winning 4-1. Dan Lucas 4-2 Clayton. Dobby Darts has gone Clayton winning 4-0. Dylan has gone 4-2 the Ferret. Paddy has gone 4-1 Clayton. Ducky Baker 4-2 Clayton. Kieran Randalls has got Clayton winning 4-2. Daz Reynolds has got 4-1 Clayton. James has got Clayton winning 4-2 from 2-0 down. That will worry Carwin, but then I think it will be a ride of emotion that will be interesting to see tomorrow night, that one. Be Kind Rewind has got Harrison taking it 4-3. That's going to be tense if that's the case. Kay has got Clayton winning 4-2. Rebecca's in earlier this time. She's got 4-2 to Johnny Clayton. Jimmy Dan has gone Harrison 4-2. Premier League pressure gets to Clayton. I don't think any pressure gets to Johnny Clayton. I think he's a pressureless man. Dan Fraser has gone Clayton winning 4-2. Paddy has gone Clayton winning 4-2. Joel has got Clayton winning 4-1. Danny Forever Wolves has gone Ferret winning 4-1. David Hunt has gone Clayton winning 4-2. Jim Frater, he wants the beard to win, but he can't see it. Johnny wins 4-2. Murdy has got Dirty Harry winning 4-2. The marathon, somebody out. What's that?
I think by the end of the 6 predictions, you might get that one right.
Marathonormus. I think Dirty Harry 4-3. Wrong anyway. Phil Bryant saying he's got Clayton winning 4-2. Do we have one more? Yeah, we've got a late one from Josh with a 4-2 Clayton. Joel observes, yeah, the chat is absolutely pumping it in tonight. I think this is the best prediction section we have ever had in the history of the Fallout Bar, and we are all for it. We are definitely on to the business end of the World Championships. Tomorrow afternoon is headlined, and this is a headliner because we've got 2 fan favourites, one traditional fan favourite, one new fan favourite. Do we think this could be an upset, or is it exactly what we think is going to happen, Cameron? Josh Rock and Justin Hood.
I think this is where the fun comes to an end for Justin Hood. I think it's been a great ride. He's got a hell of a lot of new fans. We will go to the Chinese and do a live lounge live from there, or a Fallout Bar live, or whatever we need to do from there. But this is where this tournament ends for him. Because I just think Josh Rock I think he's played within himself so far. And if you push him, I think there's levels, and I think he will go through them. And Josh Rock wins. Hood's playing too well not to put a couple of sets on the board, isn't he? I think 4-2 Josh Rock.
Howard?
I actually think it might the Hood run comes to a crashing end. I think now that he's in the top 64, as in that fight, I guess, lessens tomorrow or today as it is now, and I think Rock blows him away. I think Rock wins 4-0. I think it's a real one-sided affair, and I just think I think Hood doesn't maintain the standard he's shown to get inside the top 64, and he just doesn't quite go his way.
As a representative of the Short Kings, Cameron, is it okay to refer to this as the Hobbit Derby?
No, absolutely not.
Sorry, I apologise.
Do you want me to just fire down a couple of days early to London and cover it for us?
I assume they'll get you in. They might not spot you. You could go between their legs, couldn't you?
Not them two, but maybe.
No,
maybe
not them two. Oh, Christ, you couldn't get anything under there. Right. I think that Justin Hood will make a game of it in sections. I think he will have spells where he'll be competitive. And I think that they will probably mean that he can hold his throw enough to pick up 2 sets. But I expect this to be I don't even picking up those 2 sets. I don't expect it to ever look like this game is in doubt. It'll be sort of 2-1 and 4-2. I think is the direction it'll travel, and I think it'll look really comfortable for Josh Rock, and he moves on. But full respect to what Hood has achieved so far. It's been bloody marvelous, and if he does create the upset tomorrow, then that's going to be some party for him and his family and friends. We've seen on social media all of his pals in their local social club, like watching every dart, and there's 100 of them packed into a little room, and it's amazing to see. So if that does continue, then that would be quite something. Let's go to the chat room for the final game of the afternoon session. We've got Alan with a 4-2 Josh Rock victory. Malachi has got 4-3 Josh Rock. Joel has got 4-3 as well. Ducky Baker has got 4-3 Hood. If that happens, that's going to be some end to the afternoon. Dan Fraser's got Rock winning 4-1. Jack has got Rock winning 4-2. Phil Bryant has got Rock winning 4-1. Benny and 4-3 Hood. There is a bit of Hood love in the chat room. Is it heart over head? James has gone Hood winning 4-3. Jimmy Dan has got Rock 4-2 in a belter of a game, and Rock overtakes Bunting in the ranting. Big news if that happens. Kieran Randall's got Rock winning 4-1. Dan Lucas, Hood 4-3, Rock to miss match darts. My word, that will be somewhat. Daz Reynolds has gone 4-1, Rock most 180s. I think, that's not a bad pick. Kay has gone Rock 4-2. Paddy has gone 4-3 Rock. David Hunt has gone 4-3 Rock. All Boxed Up has gone Rock 4-2. Dylan has gone Happy Feet winning 4-3. I think those that have picked Hood, and Murphy's in there as well, they have gone with a 4-3. No one's got a wide gap if Hood takes it. Paddy's got a wide gap because he's gone Rock winning 4-0. Be Kind Rewind has gone 4-3 Josh Rock. Bob Z, who is a member of the channel, you can all be, just click the button. He's gone Rock 4-1. He'll play 100% better. Rebecca in late again with a 4-1 Rock prediction. Have we got any more? Danny is there with a 4-1 Rock. He's winning the lot. You could be a poet, my friend. Josh has gone 4-3 to Josh Rock, and Bob in late. Hood 4-2, double trouble for Rock. Righty. Well, I think you could have swapped that game in this game. I would have put Hood and Rock in the evening session, but the opening game for the evening session will see young Charlie Manby against Jan van Veen. And Carwin, we're going to have to see, for anything other than a very one-sided affair, we're going to have to see one player massively lift it and one player massively drop off, aren't we? But what do you think we are going to see tomorrow?
I think it's going to be similar to the final game of the afternoon, I think, where Manby's had a good run, but I don't think he can lift his game enough to challenge Van Veen. I think he may win a set, but I think that's his lot, and I think Van Veen wins 4-1 and makes it look quite comfortable, really.
Cam?
Yeah, it's one of these where you sort of look at it and go, I don't think Manby's a million miles off putting in a big performance in this tournament. He needs to tidy up on the doubles. He's not done that yet. I just noticed before as well that the place that we usually beep out, Yorkshire, it's Yorkshire County Cricket Club. I called them the wrong thing then, didn't I? They tweeted out that he is excellent little cricketer as well as Charlie Manby by the look of things as well. Very good with the ball. If he can just get his doubles on a good line and a length, like he can with the ball, then he could cause him some problems here. But I don't think he can cause me enough problems to beat him right now. Give me this game in 2 years' time. I think it's a sort of, it could even be a 50-50 pick'em at that time. But right now, I just think that the experience and the level that Jan's playing at right now, I think he wins 4-2.
Well, I think tomorrow will be the last time this year that we click this.
Do we have have we already got him working on a new one that is the Rob Owen Band-Aid special that it worked out that do they know it's tour card?
I think Carwin's, I think, just on to Phil with just a set of alerts for all Welsh players. I think just a Welsh player alert. We've got one for Nick Kenny. We've got one for
Fleet in the top 4 is the next one.
Yeah. He's sending it to you.
Tomorrow's Fallout bar is just an hour and a half of Rob Owen graphics that Carwin's been.
Yes, the deal is done tomorrow. Rob Owen secures his tour card for another year. I've toyed with myself for ages as to whether or not
fucking hell.
This time of night after a bottle of Gavi. So yeah, I've wondered whether or not Charlie Manby will produce, because we haven't seen what we know he's got in the tank. Like, we haven't seen what we know he's got in the tank this year. We've just seen 90 average, 90 average, 90 average. And I don't think that we see it tomorrow against Jan van Veen. I think it's going to be too big an occasion for him. And I think Jan is used to turning up to these now. He's also used to beating Charlie Manby because they are not strangers to each other, these two. I think it's a 4-0. I think it's a complete demolition job. And I think we see somewhere around 104-ish average from Big Shan tomorrow. In the chat room, let me have a look. Who got him first? Credit, you know, this is hard work tonight, the chat room. Certainly after a glass of Gavi. Who got him first? Alan got him first. Alan's a good benchmark. If you can keep getting him first, Alan, I can find you. That's miles better. Alan's gone Van Veen winning 4-2. This looks really heavy, by the way, in the chat room. James has gone 4-0 Van Veen. Dan Lucas Van Veen again 4-0. Joel, same, but 4-1. Maliki also on the same bus, but 4-2. He's giving Manby a bit extra, as is Ducky Baker. Murdy has got Jan van Veen winning 3-2. Kay has got a 4-1 victory for the Dutchman. Dan Fraser has got Van Veen winning 4-0. Dave Hunt has got him winning 4-2. Jim Freight has got Van Veen winning 4-1. Bob has got him winning 4-1. Daz Reynolds has put the cat amongst the pigeons with a 4-3 Charlie Manby prediction. Jack restores order with a Jan van Veen 4-1 prediction. Phil Bryant's gone Van Veen winning 4-2. Bobsy has gone Van Veen 4-1. Manby needs his doubling to improve if he's going to have any chance. Both predictions save Rob Owens' tour card. Bobsy knows, and you too could get your entire comments read out if you're a member, just like Bobsy. Be Kind Rewind has gone Jan van Veen winning 4-1. Bennion is a 4-1 Van Veen pick as well. Kieran Randall's Van Veen 4-3. Josh has gone 4-1. All boxed up 4-1. Jimmy Dan 4-1. Paddy 4-1. The other Paddy 4-1. Danny 4-1. All in favour of Jan van Veen. Rebecca has gone 4-0 because Charlie's doubles are just not good enough. Game number 2 tomorrow evening. We see El Clasico, one of the surely most prestigious games that we could be served up at the World Championships, and I am here for it. All we want to see when we look at that bracket at the very beginning of the tournament is that we could just get this one more time. We've seen it quite a few times, but let's just give us one more, because before one of them packs in, I don't know which one of them will pack in first, but before one of them packs in, just give us this. And the universe has delivered Michael van Gerwen against Gary Anderson. Who's go first? Is it you, Carwin?
I don't know. I can go first if you want me to go first. I don't mind.
Go on then.
This is the tasty one. I think this obviously second best match of the day, or third actually, because obviously the Van Veen Manby has Welsh interest as well. I think. I think I'm gonna go. Anderson wins, and in a crazy turn of events, we see MVG become the second ranked Dutch player by the end of the tournament. So Ando wins 4-3.
Cameron?
I don't care. I don't care who wins. I just want it to be a good game. I'm not bothered. Like, I just want to see these two play each other loads. So I really don't care. So I'm going for extra legs, and Gary wins.
Oh, you bastard.
4-3, Gary Anderson, extra legs.
You bastard, because we can't all go the same. Like, it won't happen.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's El Clasico. You can't go the
curse
same.
doesn't exist.
It won't happen, and I really want it to happen. Do
you want me to go MVG 4-3 for you then, if it makes
sense? Do that. Yeah, thank you, Cowan.
I'll change your mind. MVG will still be the top 4 at the end of the World Championship. He wins 4-3.
Thank you very much. Because tomorrow what happens is, I think it's going to be a genuine, and this is hope, because everybody wants this. I want them both to play so well. I want 104 average from both of them.
I want the highest losing average in the history of this
tournament. Yes, that's what we want to see. And I think it's more interesting for darts, and it's more chaotic, and it causes more problems for people, and more people have to scratch their head if Gary Anderson wins. And therefore, that's what I want. I want chaos. I want to manifest chaos in the world of darts. So Gary Anderson wins, and he wins. Oh, balls to it! He wins 4-2.
No, don't deprive us of yeah. I'll try that again. Don't deprive of. I can't do it. I've gone head's gone completely. Don't stop us getting an extra set.
Well, I worry that extra set might just allow the averages to dip slightly, and I want to keep them. I want to keep them up there. I want it to stay up there. I want it to be legendary. But yeah, I'm going 4-2 to Gary Anderson. It could be, but let's be really brutal, folks. They could both average 86, and it could be fucking wank. It could be shite.
But it'd be the best 86 average we've ever seen.
Yeah, it'll still be great. Like,
let's just hope. Alan has done us a favour and got in first again, so I've got a real point in the chat room. He's doing a good job for us. Alan has gone Ando winning 4-3. Jim has gone Gary destroying MVG 4-1 105 plus average. I'm here for it. Bob Anderson winning 4-2. Phil Bryant has gone MVG 4-2. Jack's gone Anderson 4-2. It's Anderson heavy, this. Kieran's gone Gary Anderson 4-3. Paddy Cav 4-2 MVG. Danny has gone MVG 4-1. Paddy McIlvenny has gone Ando winning 4-2. Kay has gone MVG 4-3. David Hunt has gone MVG 4-3. All boxed up. Anderson winning 4-3. Daz Reynolds has gone 4-3. Gary Anderson with a 9 data. Just imagine. Andy Lorraine has gone Gary Anderson winning 4-1. Dan Fraser has gone MVG, winning 4-2. Benyon has gone 4-3. MVG, Be Kind Rewind. Gary Anderson winning 4-3. Ducky Baker has gone 4-2. Gary Anderson. Rebecca is in with MVG, winning 4-2. Dylan has gone 4-2. MVG. Joel has got MVG, winning 4-3. James has got MVG, winning 4-2. Bobsy's gone the Flying Scotsman 4-2. Last time they played, MVG won at the Grand Slam. He's gone for revenge rather than repeat. Murdy has gone Gary winning 4-3. The first, a lot of calls for a 9-darter tomorrow. Dan Fraser's gone MVG winning 4-2. Breaks his
I feel
Sky
like we need to
Sports.
stop mentioning 9-darters because we keep getting lots of calls for them every day and we've not seen
They ain't happening, are they? Jeremy's gone Anderson winning 4-3. Andy Lorraine has gone, hang on. Stop it. Not
gone
time
early.
for that yet.
Has he gone early?
He's gone Dukes 4-2. He's gone early. Right.
That is early.
The
Like
final
it's like me
game.
at the wedding when I went early with the old I will before she'd even finished the sentence and there was about another 3 lines to go.
I'm not sure she was down the aisle, Cameron, when you started shouting, I will.
I know, yeah. That's
I think she got in the room. I saw it. I was at the back.
it was a sign of things to come for the marriage, to be honest.
Anything you say, love. Anything, whatever you say. No problem.
On early once again.
Just let me finish the ironing. Right. Moving on to the final game, the main event. Are we calling it? Yeah, main event tomorrow.
I don't know, it's not the main event. Shut up. The main event we know in the evening is always the second to last game. And looking at the games, it definitely is.
Luke Humphreys plays Kevin Doets. Kevin Doets has played a spoiler so far. Will he spoil things again, or is he served his just desserts from the top end of the game, Cameron, and does Luke Humphreys dispatch Hawkeye tomorrow?
Well, he's already beat the best player in the world today. Can he do it once again? Now, he doesn't have the same record against Mr. Humphreys that he did against Nathan Aspinall. He's played him 4 times and never beat him. But this tournament keeps throwing up stupid things. And many stupid things have happened already. Can he sustain it for long enough? No, he can't. It comes to an end, the dream for Kevin Doets, and Luke Humphreys wins 4-2.
Carwin?
Yeah, I think I'm with Cam, and the main reason being Humphreys was tested against Clemens and came through comfortable-ish, let's say. So I think he's had that tester to see where he's at, let's say, and he came through it pretty easy in the end. So I think it might be something similar. I don't think Doets plays as well as Clemens, but I think Humphreys wins 4-1. I think I'll go for.
Yeah, I'm genuinely. I think no matter what happens, Humphreys wins, and all I'm toying with is whether I think that he serves Doets an absolute toweling, or whether he sort of look. So Humphreys has averaged 98, 97, and 100. And if there's one or two things going to happen, is either that one time in the tournament where he tips up and averages 106 might happen tomorrow, or he might just continue it. And if he continues it, he'll make a game of it. But I think he keeps it in the chamber. I think he'll average about 101. He'll win 4-3. The 3 losers will go to deciding legs. But he'll win 2-0. But he's going to keep, I think, that monster performance in the chamber for now, for a little bit later in the tournament for the final time tonight. Andy Lorraine was in early, too early before, but we'll still count it. Andy got in with a Doets 4-2 victory. Paddy Cav's got Humphreys winning 4-1. Joel isn't putting a prediction in. Phil Bryant has gone Humphreys 4-2. Dan Lucas has gone Humphreys 4-2. Alan has gone Humphreys 4-1. Bob. Kevin Doets 4-3. Mardle goes apoplectic in commentary. Malachi's got cool hand 4-2. Doets. Jim has gone boring Humphreys 4-0. David Hunt Humphreys 4-1. Doets, there it is from Brad, but no prediction. All boxed up. Doets winning 4-3. James has gone 4-0. Humphreys. Kay has gone 4-2. Humphreys. Dan Fraser 4-3. Kieran has gone 4-2. Joel has gone 4-2. Ducky Baker has gone 4-2. And Bennion has gone 4-1. All in favour of Luke Humphreys. Jack's gone the other way with a Doets 4-2 victory. Josh has gone Humphreys 4-3. Big win and a big celebration to follow. Paddy McElvenney's gone Doets winning 4-3. Jack's gone Doets without score. Get that sorted out, mate. Danny Forever Wolves, Humphreys 4-1. Doets no show tomorrow. Murdy's gone Humphreys 4-0. Jeremy's gone cool hand winning 4-1. Dylan's got Humphreys 4-3. Doets misses match darts, similar to the Cullen game in 2024. Rebecca has got Doets 4-3. Thinks Humphreys will get too much in his own head. Be kind, rewind. Humphreys 4-2. Bobsy has got Humphreys 4-1. Doets darts will not stick in the board. The PDC won't allow the aggressive points used by Doets.
Well and good saying they won't allow them, but if you just switch to them mid-game, there's not a lot they can do.
Yeah, it would take a very, very brave official to interrupt the game because of loose Searle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Daz Reynolds has got cool hand 4-2 and a ton plus checkout. I guarantee, Daz, there will be at least one. Who is on tomorrow on this shift? We don't know yet, Daz. We'll have a chat about it in about 3 minutes once we're off the show.
We usually end up having this meeting on air at this point.
A more professional outfit would plan this weeks in advance, but we just tend to wing it, as we do throughout the show. You may have noticed.
No one would watch us if we were a more professional outfit.
Be Kind Rewind has gone Doets 4-3 in sudden death. Right, folks, that brings to the end day 16. We've done all the predictions. We've talked through today's game. A couple of things to remind you of. First of all, we are sponsored by the wonderful Paddy Power. Please go. Other way? Not that way.
No, that way.
That way?
Yeah, there.
I can't see myself on reverse that way. Anyway, so we are sponsored by Paddy Power. Make sure you check out the darts of Destiny online. Go on the website, check them out. If you are going to have a punt, then make sure that you do gamble responsibly. And when the fun stops, do stop. Little bit of news to keep banging on about. There are quite a few of you who are within reasonable travelling distance of Waterloo Station in London, where the biggest
big station. It's easy to get in and out of.
It's a bloody big station. It's right in the middle of the biggest city in Western Europe. And we have got a bit of a brand partnership going. And the biggest pub in Britain is a very, very, very large Brewdog pub right attached to Waterloo Station. And within that, there is a very beautiful podcast studio. And
within that, there'll be two very beautiful men.
Yeah, there's a massive pub with loads of screens up. And us fools are hosting a online darts Fallout bar, Brewdog bar watch along for the World Championship.
We're gonna have to come up with a slightly snappier name than that, I think.
We need a snappier name. It's the Brewdog Fallout bar. That's what it is. So the Brewdog Fallout bar will be live from the Brewdog pub in Waterloo Station, London, the biggest pub in Britain. Their podcast studio. We will be there all night, perhaps the night before as well. We'll be doing lots of fun darts things. We'll be playing darts with a few people. We'll be having a bit of fun with everybody that's in the building. But we are also going to do a watch along of the entire final in there. We're going to stream it live online, so you'll be able to watch this along with when you're watching it on Sky. You can just put us on at the same time because the commentary will be much better. We will be interacting with everybody in the pub. We'll be doing some competitions. We'll do a bit of everything, really. But if you are able to get yourself to Waterloo on the night of the final, that will be, I promise you, the best place to watch it from, because we'll be in there doing this show in a very, very, very pretty studio. It's gorgeous. And there'll be loads of big screens. The darts will be on. The final will be brilliant, let's hope. And we'll all have a bit of a get-together. So that's just one to keep in the diary because that's coming up soon. But for day 16 of the World Championship, that brings to an end the Fallout Bar. Thank you very much, Carwin, the Welsh correspondent. Thank you very much, Cam. Absolutely, McFarlane. We haven't used that for a while, but I want to bring it back. I needed something there. And thank you everyone in the chat room for what has possibly been the busiest and most interactive Fallout Bar that we have ever had. So thank you very much, everybody, for your involvement tonight. We have been the Fallout Bar. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you very much and good night.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.